I want to run through a few close calls that you had while wrestling and get you to recall the story. The first one being the Eugene, Oregon fan.
Oh, I was involved in a match in Eugene, and it got a little wild, and when I was leaving, I was a villain or a heel, and the police always escort you back to the dressing room, and a fight broke out at ringside, so I made the mistake of dismissing my security, figuring I was okay. Go ahead, take care of the fight, I'm fine. Well, I still had a ways to go to get to the dressing room, and in the interim, a guy came around the corner, pulled out a huge hunting knife, unsheathed it, and basically said, "I'm gonna kill you." And he was coming at me. And by reading his eyes, I knew he was dead serious, so I immediately thought, well, when a guy has a knife, you're probably gonna have to sacrifice something to the knife in which to get him. So I was at that determinating period when all of a sudden, out of the stands, this guy dropped behind him, grabbed him, spun him around, and had him cuffed in an instant.
Wow.
It turned out it was a plainclothes cop, happened to take his kids to the matches and happened to be looking down and saw this was taking place. He jumped out of the stands, and it turned out the kid was a minor. They couldn't even charge him. Here he was, attempted murder, was gonna stab me with this knife, but he was under 18. So all they can do is release him to the custody of his parents at that time.
How about the 70-year-old woman?
Oh, I don't know her age. She was probably older than that. That was Denver, Colorado, and they have a rail around the ring there. And I was being the villain again, and I jumped out of the ring, which villains do, because that's part of the way to get people angry at you. Don't stay in there and get beat up, run. Because all villains are cowards, right? They're stereotypical things you have to do, like
right.
Blonde hair. And I had backed up to the railing, and all of a sudden I felt this excruciating pain. And I turned around, I was gonna deck whoever did it, and here was an old woman, probably in her 80s, dripping in diamonds. She had taken her long fingernails, clawed me down the back, and drew blood on 3 of them. So I just turned to security, said, "Arrest her." So she went to jail. You know, that's assault, sorry. I mean, she drew blood on me with 3. I didn't knock her out when I saw how old she was. Had it have been a young kid there, he'd have probably got tapped.